everyone, welcome back to LifeChat with me, Karima. I am so glad you're here. If you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. Don't forget to check out my other videos and subscribe. As a mom of 2 kids in public school, I just wanted to make a video to encourage you, to share with you some tips that helps our family. Not only helps our kids excel in school, but also they love school. You know, they just love going to school. So I just wanted to share some tips, and hopefully they will bring some encouragement to you, some comfort to you as a parent, and they will be helpful to you. But before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to every teacher out there in every public school, private school. Thank you so much for coming in and you know, risking your health during this COVID situation that we're in, and teaching our kids and be there for our kids and encouraging them. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate you. Before I did this video, I wanted to ask my children, who are the students, you know, going to school, what makes them motivated? You know, what helps them throughout the day? And I said, you know, what is it that we do as parents that you know, like for us to do? And my son and my daughter both, they were like, you know, we just love the fact that you love us, you know, that you encourage us and support us and tell us what, you know, what to do, what not to do. It just really helps us throughout the day. And, you know, it just really brought a lot of comfort to know that we are doing the right thing. You know, it's not easy. We're constantly guiding and encouraging every single day, but it's encouraging to hear our kids say those things. So the number one tip that I want to share with you is we pray every morning. We pray every night. You know, before school starts, like before August comes, you know, I pray for like a month. You know, I pray for the teachers. I pray for the, you know, for the friends that our kids are going to meet. I pray for the school. You know, I pray for guidance. But we do a lot of that. Praying is our number one to go to, and it really, you know, not only it guides us to make the right decisions, but it helps us, it encourages us as a parents. And our kids as well. So that's the number one thing that we do all the time. My number 2 tip is to engage your children, communicate with them. You know, start as early as possible. When our kids were little and I would drop them off to pre-K, as soon as they get in the car, you know, I would ask them, how was your day? What did you do? You know, and you know, it became a habit of them telling us what they're doing, you know, during the day. And so now that my son is in 9th grade, and my daughter is in 7th grade, you don't even have to ask them. My daughter literally gets in the car, doesn't even shut the door. She starts talking to me. I'm like, you might want to shut the door first, you know. But they're so comfortable with us. They tell us everything, and I mean everything. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know, you might want to talk to daddy about that, you know. You know, they tell us everything, and we just love the fact that they're, you know, that they're open and they trust us with everything, and it makes a big difference, and they need it, especially in middle school and high school. It's so important for them to have that communication, you know, with their parents, because that's where they're going to get the guidance from. If they don't get it from you, they're going to get it from somebody else at school, and you don't want that. So definitely, you know, start as early as possible to have that communication, you know, free, you know, to talk about anything and everything with your child. Number 3 is we share with our kids about how important school is. You know, it's not just school. This is part of your life, a very important part of your life, and you are building your future by going to school. You know, it's a privilege to go to school. I also share with them, you know, I grew up in Morocco, in a Muslim Arab country, and you know, half of my family didn't go to school. My mom didn't go to school. She didn't start, you know, learning how to read and write until she was 40 years old. And she would love nothing more than to be able to read like everybody else and be able to just read a sign or whatever. But, you know, she's a very smart woman, and she still managed to get her driver's license even though she's never been to school. I mean, she just amazes me on how smart she is. But I tell them all the time, you know, it's such a blessing to be able to live in a country where you can go to school, you know, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, because not every country is like that. And so to know that, I think it makes a big difference, because even my kids will be like, yeah, mommy, I'm going to give it all I got. You know, I'm going to do my best because I know this is for my future. You know, I know that if I work hard, I'm going to get a good job. You know, they will tell you that. And so, you know, that's a great thing right there. Number 4 is encourage your kids. Encourage them. If they don't get it from you, they're not going to get it from anybody. And they need that. They need a word of encouragement. They need, you're doing a great job. You're going to do great on that test. A word of affirmation is so important to them and to us, as adults. But I will leave like a little notes for my kids. I will leave one like in the lunchbox, or I will leave one in their computer. Just a little sticky note that says, "Have a great day. We love you," or you're going to do great on this test today. Just anything, just a little encouragement. And they'll come home and they'll be like, "Hey, Mom, you were sneaky. You left us a note in my computer," or whatever. And my son is so funny because he's in high school, and I left one in his computer, and he's like, "Whoa, Mommy, I opened up the computer and here was a note." It's like I had to hide it, but I enjoyed it. It was so funny. But just encourage them. They need it. They need to hear it from you, because you are number one to them. No one else matters but mom and dad, or dad, if you're a single parent. But it's very, 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 very important. So be there for your children and encourage them the best way you can. Number 5, remember that every child is different. This is something I had to learn eventually. When our kids were little, just because they were brother and sister, I assumed that they learned the same way. That they saw everything the same way, but they don't. They're two different people. And what works for my son may not work for my daughter, and vice versa. So it's very important to know that. Once you know their learning, abilities and how they pick up on things. Somebody, my son may see something and learn it right away, or my daughter may hear something and learn it right away. They're just two different people. And when you understand that about your child or children, it really helps a lot. Number 6, volunteer if you can at your children's school. And not everybody can do that because they have to work, but if you can, do it. Not only it helps the school, but it also helps you see how the school work, and really makes you appreciate how hard they work. The other thing too is it helps you build relationships, with the teachers and with the staff members at the school. And, I try to volunteer as much as possible. Because of COVID, they're not letting people, volunteer as much, but I still volunteer as much as possible. But I started, in my kids' class, in kindergarten, and sometime I volunteer in the school if they had like a field trip or something like that. But it just gets you involved. And then when your kids see you, especially when they're little, it just makes, it makes their day. "Oh my gosh, my mommy is here," They just love it, especially when they were little. Now that they're older, they don't see me. I'm usually behind the scene, but I just loved going over there and volunteering and helping the school. That was a really something that I enjoyed. Number 7, we remind our kids that their teachers are there to help, that it's okay to ask a question. I always tell them, if you have an issue, try to take care of it yourself, and if you can, then come to us and we'll help you. But it's important that you communicate with your teacher. Also, if we, have an email, to send to a teacher, we always do it with kindness and respect. You can't, I don't care if it's the teacher's fault or the child's fault. At the end of the day, you still have to be kind. You still have to be respectful when you send an email, because you're not going to get anywhere by being mean. You're just not going to. So I always start with, "Good afternoon, Mr. or Mrs. or good morning. I hope you're doing well. I have this issue or I have this concern. Could you please help us? Thank you so much for what you do." And 100% of the time, the teacher will respond immediately. Will apologize if there's a mistake that happened, or she may look into it. But it's so nice to be able to have that communication open with the teacher and have that relationship as well, because you have to think about these people, these poor teachers. They're in class with 20 or 30 kids, right? And they have so many different personalities in the class, and not only they have to deal with the kids but with the parents as well. And nobody wants to get an email with someone just constantly talking to them and talking down to them. They need some encouragement as well, because they're working and they're working hard. So I always try to do that. And I have a really good relationship with the teachers. I've always had a good relationship. My family always had a good relationship because of the way we do things. And it's funny because my daughter sent a message the other day to one of the teachers just asking her question. And I just happened to glance over the email. And it's just so funny because she wrote it just like I write it. You know, she was like, I have a question, please. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And I'm like, okay, that's good. You know, she's learning. That's good. That's what I want her to do. So, you know, just be kind. You know, be kind and be sweet and be encouraging to your teachers because they deserve it. And you will have a much better relationship if you did that. And the last thing is, number 8, reward your children. You know, you don't have to go spend a bunch of money. You can take them to the beach, or, you know, you can go to a dinner and a movie, or you just spend time with them. Just play some games. But just anything like that will be rewarding to them. We try to do that once in a while after the 9 weeks is over and we get the reports from the school. You know, we'll sit down with our kids and we'll tell them, you know, how proud we are of them. And you know, my husband came up with this name. It's called a Super Happy Fun Day. And we'll go out and just do something fun with them. You know, like I said, you don't have to go spend much money, but the kids love it. They love the fact that we are, you know, putting everything on pause at the house and we are one-on-one with them and taking the time to just engage with them and have fun with them. And they just love it, you know, and we all need a little bit of that, right? So I hope that this video is encouraging to you. Again, no matter what school they're in, you know, no matter if your kids are in private school or in public school, no matter how good the school is or the teachers are, you know, we are very blessed to be in a good area where the schools are really good and the teachers are amazing. But at the end of the day, it depends on the lifestyle that you're giving your children, you know, and the support you're giving them, because that's what's going to carry them through. That's what's going to help them be successful, you know. So putting that time is not going to go to waste. I promise you. You know, it's going to pay big rewards later, especially when they get older. So again, I pray that this video would be encouraging to you and you know, possibly help you in some way. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings to all and much love.